Hello students, in this video I would like to show you just a couple of initial steps before you can start with your project work. Say you have collected this data of population size of a certain country. You can make sure that the number is not too big, so it's more manageable. So you can always define it as a population size in thousands or millions depending on the country you have chosen. Another thing you could do is, for instance, instead of saying this is year, so 1900, 1910 and so on, you can also define a new variable. We can say that this is actually years from 1900. So that's your starting point of data collection. So in that case, then this will be 0. And then afterwards, 10 years later, 20 years later, 30, and so on and so on. So again, it makes everything more manageable. So once you have that, you can now try and plot your data on a graphing software. So in this case, I'm going to use GeoGebra. So you can search for GeoGebra online, and we are going to choose the classic GeoGebra. So this is how it looks like when you first open it. So if you go to this menu option here and click View, we don't actually need this algebra window at the moment, so I can just click it away. So you have more space for your graph. And I would like the spreadsheet on GeoGebra. So, and you can click this menu again away, and I will just extend and make the spreadsheet smaller and the graph window a bit bigger. So what you can also do is, when you click once here on your touchpad on the screen, in the graph screen of graph window, you can actually move it around, up to you where you want to position the axis. So that's one handy features. And then you probably need also to adjust the scale as well. So remember, our data was starting from 0 up to 60 years later. So if you bring your cursor nearer to the axis and you see this little hand there, you can press Shift and it becomes this small arrow. And when you drag it around now with your touchpad, when your finger is in the touchpad, then you can actually adjust the scale. That goes the same with the y-axis as well. So put it there, your cursor, and then press Shift, and then you can actually adjust your window. So let's copy our data on Excel, from Excel to this spreadsheet in GeoGebra. So I will just copy this variable years from 1900 and the population size. You can press Command C always, and then just move to GeoGebra and Command V. We will paste it here. All right. So if I look at my y-axis, it goes from 472 to 981, so almost 1,000. So I'll just remove whatever this is. It's kind of like copied down as well on the screen here. So I could right click and delete, and the same goes to this 2 points, 2 blue points over here. We will just delete them. So we are going to plot this data now on the screen, and let's first adjust the y-axis here. We want up to, let's say, 1,000. So we will try and adjust the scale for the moment. So once we have that, I'm going to highlight the 2 columns. And then you can click here to this number, this button, and choose a list of points. And we can just say create. So now you have the plotted data points. I would like you to be a bit more thoughtful with the scale. Once you have this shape, you may start thinking about, okay, what kind of functions can I fit here? So try to be a bit more thoughtful, because assume, let's say, if I were to have this kind of scale, See, so it looks a little bit more flattened out. It might influence your choice of functions, of course. The visual effect of it might influence your decision compared to when you see it this way. So be a bit more careful with that. So I think this was not very hard to do, so you can try and start with your own data.